Hey, how you doing? Right now, I am about to show you how to pull your list using Stewart Title in Harris County. And you can actually use it for Fort Bend County and I believe Galveston County and let's see what else, in Fort Bend County and Montgomery County and Waller County. So right now we're going to be concentrating on Harris County because that is where we do most of our business. So if you're listening to this, you are on our prosperitygroup.com website and you are a member, so you have access to this. And so what I'm going to do is get started here and showing you how to pull your list by zip codes. And first of all, when you come to the Stewart Title page where we're going to be pulling this information from, the first thing you're going to notice is this is how the page looks when you first arrive to it. So the first thing you're going to want to do is find this square right here in this corner, and it says show advanced search feature. So you're going to want to click that. Once you click that and check that box, you're going to notice that it opens up a whole lot more criteria for you to be able to use. And that is what we're about to do. We're going to use some of that criteria right now to pull our list. So first of all, we really don't care about any of this other stuff up here around the top under location. And of course, we already picked Harris County and the city and stuff. We're going to be doing by zip code because that's the way we mostly do our mailing campaigns. So we'll start with, let's do 018, 082, and 083. These are just samples, obviously, just to give us something to pull. You can pull 3 at a time on this on this website right here. So we're going to start with these 3. Now, okay, so the first thing is now we have our zip codes. Then we're going to move on down. We do not care about the postal IDs or the owner names. The next section we're going to care about is this general section down here. Now, we could check this box right here and select only out-of-state owners, which we do on occasion. We do sometimes check that box and send to only out-of-state owners, but most of the time we do not check that because we want to hit everybody that owns a property but does not live in it in the zip code that we're targeting or the zip codes that we're targeting. And what I mean by that is we're going to select over here in this box where it says owner occupied and it says yes or no. We're going to select no. So that means that the owner does not occupy the house, which means they are an absentee owner or a non-occupied property, non-owner occupied property. So, now that we have that selected, no owner occupied, that just means everybody that does not live in a property that they own. So we could narrow that down and, like I said, go and check this box that says out-of-state owners, and we could narrow it down by that if we were really just targeting out-of-state owners. But our goal is to get a hold of everybody that owns a property in the particular zip codes we're targeting to get a hold of them that they own a property and do not live in it. So we do not want to limit ourselves to only out-of-state owners in this case. Now, like I said, you can in some cases, and we also do, but in this case, that's not what we're trying to do. So the next thing we're going to do is under land use codes right here, we are looking for this residential improved table value 1001. So we will select that. So we select 1001 residential improved table value, which just means that there's an improvement on the property, and it really cuts down our returns of vacant lots and stuff like that whenever we do our searches here. And you're still going to receive some or get some vacant lots just because there's going to be houses that got torn down or for different situations there's no house on there. But most of the time you're going to get rid of a lot of those vacant lots off of your list here. So 1001 non-owner occupied. Up at the top we selected our zip codes. So I do not use any of this year built from or improved square footage from or to or assessed value. Any of this section right here, I'm not really interested in using that for what we're doing right now. The next section I am going to care about is the deed section, where you're going to select a deed date. And what we're going to do here is we do not pick a from date. We only select a to date. And so what we will do in this case is we will go to and select December, because you have to realize that it is going to, the D date up to December of whatever year we pick. So in this case, we're going to pick 1999. You want to make sure you're at least 10 years back so that the houses that you're targeting have some kind of equity and that the owners might have some motivation to sell, because if they just bought the house last year, there's really not going to be a lot of motivation for them to sell. So now we're going from December of 1999, so the end of the year 1999, all the way back as far as the databases will show, because we did not select a from date, so it just goes back as far as it can. So now under the sales date, which is the next section, we're going to do the exact same thing. We are not going to fill out a sale date from. We're only going to do a to date, which we're going to pick December, also 1999, to keep them the same. So now there's no deed date or sales date from December 1999 all the way back as far as the database will go. The next section right underneath the sales date is land. I don't care about the land value or the acres. What I do want to do is under land square footage from, I leave that blank also, and I go to land square footage to, and I'm going to put 20,000 square feet in there. Now what this does is limits the returns of properties that have more than 20,000 square feet, because what I'm looking for is mostly residential lots or lots in neighborhoods, which sometimes they go up to 14. So I've seen lots up to 18,000 square feet in some neighborhoods that are residential but have bigger land value. But I do not want any acreage or farmland or anything like that in some of the zip codes that we target. There is some rural area like that, also mixed in with residential neighborhoods. So that's why I put that in there, is to keep that limited. Now under characteristics, we are not, for what we're doing right now, we're not going to use any of these characteristics. Foundation, exterior wall, fireplace, pool, bedrooms, bath, or stories. Legal, we're not going to worry about that because we did everything by zip code, deed date and sales date, non-owner occupied, and the land value, which is residential improved table value. So we don't care about using the legal or characteristics. And with that, we are going to search now. And on this particular 3 zip codes, we have a return of 1,127 addresses. Now, that's a good size to start with, but what I'm going to show you how to do now is clean the list, because we do not just want to mail to all these people, because there's people that there's businesses on here that will probably never return our phone calls, and there's also duplicate mailing addresses, which means if somebody owns 10 or 20 properties, we don't want that person receiving 10 or 20 postcards from us in the mail, because they're just going to get aggravated. They're going to be upset. They might call us and just, be in a bad mood. But if they receive one postcard about a particular address, they might, or a letter, or however you choose to reach these people, but they might be more interested in selling because they think that that's what, you're targeting, that one particular property. So we're going to download this list now. When we download this list into Excel format, so we're going to make sure it's in Excel format down here. And when you first come to this page, sometimes it'll have other tabs checked. So we're going to uncheck the parcel ID, and we're going to check property address and make sure owner info is checked. Those are the 2 categories that we want right now for what we're about to do. So property address, owner info, Excel format. And then we're going to submit that and pull up our Excel workbook or Excel sheet here. So it's asking me if I want to open this with Excel, and okay, I do. Now it's just saying that it does not, some of the format and extension of the file don't match. So it could be corrupted or unsafe unless you trust its source. Well, we trust the source because we know what we just did. So if this comes up on you, you're going to click yes. And there is our list of the 1,127, I believe. Let's check that. So it says 1128, but you have to remember that your headers are on the first row. Okay, so this is correct here. So let's go back up to the top. Now, the first thing we're going to want to do is select this top row. And then we're going to find under View, we're going to find the Freeze Panes tab here. So we're going to click on that, and we're going to want to click Freeze the top row. So there, we've frozen this top row, which means we're just keeping the headers here, so they're not going to be included in any of the information that we're searching for. So now we're going to find the column F, which is the owner address to section. So we're going to click on the F, and when you click on the F, it highlights the whole column all the way down. So once we have the whole column all the way down selected, we're going to go up to Data. And once we click the Data tab, you're going to see that it pulls up all these other criterias, and we're going to look for Remove Duplicates. Once we click Remove Duplicates, it's going to pull up this box that asks you if you want to expand the selection or continue with the current selection. We're going to want to make sure that Expand the Selection is marked or checked, clicked, and then we're going to hit Remove Duplicates. Then it's going to pull up another box that is going to ask you to delete the duplicate values, select one or more columns. So what we're going to want to do is we only want to do the owner address to column. So we're going to unselect all, and we're going to reselect just the owner address to column there. And over here in your top right of the little box, you're going to notice that it has a check mark next to My Data Has Headers. Now that is why we froze our panes, is so that the data would have its headers, and the file will know how to do that. So we're going to have owner address to selected and My Data Has Headers selected, and then we're going to hit OK. So now you see we had 1127. It removed 173 duplicates. So that leaves us with 954 unique values remaining, which is good mailable addresses so far. So we're going to hit OK for that. Now after we've removed the duplicates from this column F, our owner address to section, we're going to move over to column B. And we're going to do the exact same thing as far as selecting it, and click the B. And you'll notice that it highlighted the whole column all the way down. So we're not going to remove duplicates in this one, but what we are going to do is, now we have it, the whole column selected, we're going to find the sort over here. And what we're going to do is go from sort from A to Z. We don't want to sort from Z to A. We select from A to Z, so we're going to select that. Again, it's going to ask if you want to expand the selection, the whole column. So we're going to make sure that's checked, and then hit sort. And now you'll notice that it starts with all the A's and everything there. So we're going to go down until we don't see any first names left. So we'll go all the way down our column, just going and going until we run out of first names in that column. So there's the Z's. So now you'll notice the last name is this Z name right here, which is column 914. And then the rest do not have a first name, but you'll notice it says Huey, Dolores Huey, estate of Cornelia Gaynor, and another estate. This one is a Charmu group, and then some other businesses and churches and estates. What we're going to want to do is remove all these ones that do not have a first name. So we're going to start with column 915. And what we're going to do is select all the way down till we run out of the list there. We're going to select all of that, and we're going to delete it. Because what we did there is we got rid of all the businesses, estates, banks, people that are more likely not to respond to our mail. This way, what we're really looking for is, on all these other ones, their first names, their people. So you're going to be dealing with direct sellers instead of a bank or a trustee or somebody in charge of a state or something like that. Now, those other things, they're good to target sometimes. But in our case, right now, what we're looking to do is target direct sellers. So we're dealing with the person making all the decisions on the property. So now we have removed all of that. That leaves us with what says 914, but that leaves us with 913 clean addresses. So that means out of these 3 zip codes, we came up with 913 clean mailable addresses. So what you're going to want to do now is take this list, and save it, and this is going to be the list you're either going to merge in click to mail and send out postcards or letters, or however you're doing your mailing campaign. If you send this to a mailing house or whatever you're doing, this is going to be your clean mailable addresses. So I know that really catches a lot of people. It's a little tricky. So if you have any trouble with it, go back over the video on any spots that you may have had trouble with, of pulling the list and being able to clean it. So that is all for this section. Please keep an eye out for the next section, and if you need to go over it, please make sure you go over any of the details on the video to make sure that you get this right, because you do not want to make any mistakes in your marketing. Your marketing is what runs your whole business. So make sure that you have the list pulled correctly, make sure that you are cleaning your list correctly, and then get that out as soon as possible, and remember to take action on that. So I hope you enjoyed it. Check out the next video and other videos we got coming, and good luck, guys.